welcome you to... and a beyond here on 2K Sports. From the attire to the food, the players' jerseys, tonight a celebration of the Latin culture. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Looking at Toronto, they want to turn it around after the loss. Harris outside to the left wing. And it's sent back by Drummond. Back to Lynn. Wide open. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. And featuring two of the best bigs in the league, Brent, how impactful is the center position now compared to the way it used to be?
Well, one of the things that I think people are still dealing with is just how divergently different the center position has become in the game. And to think that these guys, in what they're asked to do, has just as much importance of the Patrick Ewings, the Akeem Olajuwons, the low post, big-time scorers back to the basket. The modern-day center, Kevin, isn't doing that. It's a roll to the basket, rim protection game, and there are some elite ones doing it now.
Wired a little bit differently than guys of the past.
They have to be. On top of that, some of the teams are even asking those players, obviously, to step out and shoot the three-point shot. So modern-day game, modern-day play.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
And Labissiere throws it down.
Just continuing to develop an overall game that was evident coming into the league. Gary Harris getting better at spotting the open man.
And the rejection by Embiid. Here's Isaac. Terrific assist, a nice finish, solid play all around.
And how about Isaac there, making himself a big target. Tough to match up with him in these open floor situations. The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
The Raptors shooting their first foul shots of the night here.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
Pass to Collins. And it's Drummond missing.
Now, those are the kind of shots you like him taking. Even though he missed it, the offense will take those.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And Jonathan Isaac making progress, but he was drafted knowing he had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and you really shouldn't try and compare Isaac to the rest of his draft class. He's going to be on a different timeline as far as his development goes. Might take longer for him to be ready, but the payoff, man, could be huge as his ceiling is really high.
Back to Collins. Here's Lynn. And the rejection by Embiid. Here's Drummond.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Not a fast start here for the Heat. 7-point differential. And there's the call on John Collins. That'll be his second foul of the game. It's been a quick start here for Toronto. And Embiid throws it down.
Coaching staff has to like that ball movement, and it began with Bledsoe.
A nice shot by Lynn. Lynn's got his second bucket.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
And how about Isaac? He just attacks the backboard, especially on the offensive glass, putting that height to good use.
Now here is Harris after the miss from Andre Drummond. Good on the shot.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
And already the lead is significant. Excellent play on both ends.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D-up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
Here's Bogdanovich. Gary Harris making his last shot. Down low. And that one's good. Drummond.
And he gets one to fall, and now one out of his first 4.
Pass to Isaac. Drains the three-pointer. Isaac's got 8.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
They grabbed their own miss. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. 6 points for him.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Well, Brent, the Heat with an experienced front office and one of the best young coaches in the league in Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, Spo has done a remarkable job. Tremendous amount of respect around the league for the way that Eric Spoelstra goes about his business, the way he handled the title runs and all those personalities and those dynamics. He has been fantastic and will coach in Miami for as long as he wants to. The way he goes about it is pride, work, and respect for anybody that walks through those locker room doors.
And really, Lynn has a terrific feel for this offense. Just seems to know whenever one of his guys is open.
And it's sent back by Drummond. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Embiid wide open. Can't nail the jumper. Richardson gets a wide open look. Hits it from three-point range. Richardson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Embiid in the corner. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Drummond. Here's Bogdanovich. A big-time effort for Joel Embiid, providing a lot of energy for Toronto. Score. And we return to the second quarter, and Noche Latina specialized jerseys on display. Welcome back, everyone. And a very convincing performance from the Raptors so far.
The chemistry through the roof, and it's allowed them to build this huge lead after one.
All parts are working together, even the guys who have not put the points on the board making their subtle contributions.
To the right side. Pass to Collins. Richardson trying to break loose. Collins, good. Collins has got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Heat. Here's Dinwiddie. Anderson outside. Off target with his three. Here's Richardson. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Richardson's got his second bucket tonight.
Well, Richardson came in shooting threes and thought that might be the only thing he could do. He's no one-trick pony.
And here's Lynn. He'll bring it up for the Miami Heat. They trail by 11. It's Drummond with the drive. Now here's Lynn. Good D by Lopez.
Yeah, I think the defense made an impact on that play, making the shooter feel a bit uncomfortable on release.
And it's in there.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And Robin Lopez, one of those dirty work type of big men, rebounding, defending, a lot of grit, setting screens. He does it all.
Yeah, unselfish. He does know his role. It just makes things easier for his teammates. Has his quirks, but has proven to be a great teammate.
Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Pass to Kid Gilchrist.
Get down, Rob.
Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
All keyed right there from the lead pass, right on the money.
Now Drummond. Inside. It's tipped. Now Lynn. Back to Collins. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And finished off by Collins.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Trying to cut into this lead. Bad time for a miscue.
Yeah, they may have some ants in the pants right here. You just have to take what the defense gives you.
Isaac with the ball. He's got 8. Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
Yeah, love watching Isaac find the open teammate. Has great floor awareness out there and just knows when one of his guys has a clean look.
And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That's his first foul. Weber looking around. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Tries from 10. Let's talk about team defense, Brent. To develop trust, it seems like guys have got to communicate on the floor.
I talk to my friends often who ask me about playing an NBA game and playing defense. They first start with saying that I didn't play any, but the second thing, the second thing that we get, but the second thing we get to, Kevin, is talking about really how intricate good defenses can be. You talk about communication, that's one thing, but throughout the course of the season, you build so much sweat equity on defense and trust by knowing that somebody's going to be behind you, hearing that voice consistently, but positions on the floor where you almost develop play sets as a defensive team. Now, when you reach that level, that's the upper echelon, but that's when it really gets fun to be down on that end, to shut a team down, to keep a crowd quiet. Defense always begins with great communication.
So many things, rotations and playing angles and having the guy in back, you know what you can do well, what you can't do well if you're ahead of him.
Well, that, Kevin, and also great teams who are adaptable to make changes on the fly. All of a sudden, a dead ball, coach calls out a different coverage. You want to mess up the team's rhythm on the other end, and 5 guys, they snap to it and can carry out that defensive assignment in one play call. That's great defense.
Pass to Galloway. Miami no good on that time either.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat. And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
.127 left in the first half of basketball. And it's sent back by Isaac.
Oh, how about the read from the young fella? Isaac is dependable at anticipating when to go for the blocks. And boy, has he come alive. Since the start of the second quarter, he has been on fire.
Outside Williams. Pass to Harrell. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. 54 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Bledsoe. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Eric Bledsoe, Greg, one of the league's best slashers.
Yeah, he gets to the rim with regularity, and he finishes at a high rate, lives at the line. He is a nightmare in the open court.
And Bledsoe, man, such a good, efficient combo guard. He can score, he can pass, he can rebound. What a tough cover.
Williams gets the bucket. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. The Raptors have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple. First one falls for. And Embiid drops them both. There's 25 seconds left now here in the second. Pass to Harrell. Outside Williams. Good ball movement here by Miami. 6 to shoot. Now Weber, defended by Labissiere. Good D by Bledsoe. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Here now is Weber. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Now Richardson. No good there off the double clutch.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities, and the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better.
The Heat trail by 21. And here is Lynn to the inside. A nice shot by Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic has got the first points of the second half here for the Heat.
Now Bogdanovic focused on scoring on the inside, and when he gets close to the basket, looked like he was hungry to get 2.
And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And so here is Miami. Lynn looking it over. Bogdanovic left side. Bank shot, no good.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Yeah, Labissiere's arms just seem to go on forever, which is why dunking just, it looks so easy.
To the paint. Pass to Drummond. Shoots over Embiid. Gets the 14-footer to fall. 8 points for Andre Drummond.
Guys, he can get this shot anytime he wants.
Now, you bet. With his height, not many defenders are going to challenge that mid-range jump shot.
And there it is for him. 16 points for Joel Embiid.
Bledsoe can be a problem on the screen and roll, reliable when he comes off and dishing it in those kind of sets.
Back to Drummond. From the top of the key. That one's rebounded by Embiid.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
The Heat trail by 21. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
And that's number 4. Definitely something to keep track of as we move forward.
And the shot goes down. Richardson's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Richardson getting up on that shot there. Solid at elevating over the top of the defense, especially deep inside.
And so Lynn will bring it up for the Miami Heat. They get it back. Bogdanovich wide open. Offensive rebound. Here's Drummond. 8 points for him. A nice shot by Lynn.
Moving it around. 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And for Lynn, missing the season last year, he's just glad to be back. His playmaking and creativity is something that this team needs. As long as he's healthy and playing aggressively, he'll be an effective guard option.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass. Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. And that one's good. Drummond. And with Lynn, he made a point upon returning from injury, saying he will not change how he plays.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, they'll shy away from contact after experiencing a torn patella like Lynn did, but he knows that he is at his best going at defenders and absorbing that contact. He said he'll try and be more aware of how he lands, but has no plans of changing his game.
Toronto leading by 15. Out to the wing. Down low. And stolen by Drummond. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Yeah, this is where you have to sharpen up your passing. That's a careless turnover.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Here's Dinwiddie. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
Pass to Dinwiddie. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Back to Kid Gilchrist. And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding and rising up off the ground.
In the corner, it's Richardson. Outside, Bogdanovich. Fires for three. That shot off. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. 22 is their biggest lead. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road.
And Lynn is just fearless, always looking to get as close to the bucket as he can.
Pass to Drummond. To the middle. Here's Collins. And finished off by Collins.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
And Drummond throws it down.
You could see Drummond's eyes light up once he knew that finish was coming. He didn't waste the chance. Boy, did he get his money's worth on that one.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
To the inside. Here's Collins. And finished off by Collins.
And cutting into the lead with the big one-hand throwdown.
That's how you get your team back into it.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
timeout called, the Heat.
And sometimes you just want a reminder of what our objectives are tonight.
Yeah, get everyone on the same page and point it in the right direction.
With one on the clock, and no good. And so it's Toronto. Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Toronto leading by 10. Pass to Connaughton. To the paint. Here's Dinwiddie. And the dunk by Lopez.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
Here's Connaughton. Richardson covering. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. The WNBA, the top teams make the playoffs. We know that regardless of what conference. And the early results look good, Brent. You ever see that happening in the NBA?
I like the chatter about it. I like the consideration about it. I love the idea of the top 16 teams making the playoffs. But then I think to myself, well, if 12 of those 16 teams are in the Western Conference, then a lot of people are going to be watching something else come playoff time. So
travel just makes it prohibitive.
Not just the travel, Kevin, but the idea that you have these shifts. As we know, the Western Conference has dominated the NBA for at least the last decade, that there just wouldn't be much attention for the playoffs, at least throughout the country, if you did it that way.
They get it back. Collins. Here's Drummond. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
And you could try to key in on him, but that's tough. They run plays that routinely give him makeable looks.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole. And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
That always energizes your teammates. They feel your imagination, get motivated, and helps you extend your lead as well.
5 to shoot. The Heat need to get a shot off. Bogdanovich, no luck. Toronto leading by 13. To the inside. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Here's Drummond. Outside, Lynn. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Can't hit that one. The Heat go the other way with it. Here's Bogdanovich. And some very quick points for him on that possession.
Trying to improve every year, that's the goal of anyone in the NBA. Bogdanovich has great fundamentals to be able to do that.
Anderson outside. Over Richardson. Raptors get it back. And the shot goes in from Embiid.
And they've controlled the boards, and that's a big reason why they're controlling the lead.
Pass to Richardson. Here's Drummond. Over Embiid. Goes back up. And that one's good. Drummond's got 13 points in the second half.
And not afraid to say it. If Drummond isn't the best rebounder in the NBA, he's got to be in the top 3. That goes for both ends of the floor. Just no way to hold him in check on the board.
No good on that one. And when you watch Collins play, Greg, you just can't help but notice how athletic he is going to the rim.
Man, his hang time and ability to throw it down make him an ideal finisher inside. Very efficient because he's not only a strong finisher but also enjoys attacking the rim. And does a great job, I think, of picking up misses, just being a pest for the defense.
Back to Richardson. And it's sent back by Isaac. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Pass to Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
And again, it's the Heat missing.
And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
That one doesn't go. And Miami the other way now.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Raptors.
Tonight, they did a great job of getting everyone involved. They had the good passing, and that led to some open shots.
Solid play, definitely, Kevin.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Joel Embiid.
Well, a consistent intensity is what he brought to the floor here. He hit the glass hard, and he came up with a ton of rebounds.
Isaac with the steal. Bledsoe outside. And stolen by Bogdanovich. Pass to Collins. Puts up a 3. It's hauled in by the Raptors. 22 is their biggest lead. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Now here's Bledsoe. Shot clock at 6. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip. You can see the focus. You're ready to do battle.
It's stolen by Labissiere. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance.